Hello students, welcome to EduTap and welcome to this class of ARD Current Affair. Today we'll cover some MCQ from month of April 2022 that are very important for your NABARD examination. So let's start our class, but before that, do remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and you can join our Telegram channel too for the PDF of the video. So let's start our first question. Recently, in April 2022, the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying has initiated the launch of the pilot project to implement One Health framework in the state of. Your options are Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Kerala or Assam. And yes, your correct answer will be very good. It will be Uttarakhand. Okay. Now let's cover this particular current affair in detail. See what happened. DAHD, that is your Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying, that comes under the Ministry of Fisheries and Animal Husbandry and Dairying. They launched a pilot project that is related to your One Health. Now, where? In Uttarakhand, of course. Okay, now what was the objective? See, whenever you are launching any project at large scale, first of all you launch a pilot project, okay, for a smaller area. Then you study all the result of the pilot project and then you implement the project in the larger area. Okay, so similarly about the One Health pilot project, the objective was to develop a One Health roadmap based on the learning of pilot project implementation that will be launched in Uttarakhand. Okay, now what is this One Health we are talking about? See, One Health is a concept that has three components, that is your human health, animal health and environmental health. And One Health concept says that these three components are related. How? If the human health is affected, it will affect the environment health and animal health. If the environment will affect, of course it will stress human and animal and will affect their health. Similarly, the animal will affect the other two components. Okay, so under this scheme, the One Health concept say that we should link these departments, okay, and study the concept, how they are related and how we can work better. So what will happen in this One Health pilot project that was launched in Uttarakhand? Government will link all the agency or all the department that are either involved in human health care, animal health or environmental health through a digital medium. Then they will study if there is any disease outbreak, how the other components are affected or where the disease come from and how the other components are responsible to this particular disease. Then the monitoring of the disease and then how the disease can be prevented and cured. Okay, these will be studied under One Health India. So for this particular current affair, from your exam point of view, do remember the agency, do remember where the pilot project was released and what is the pilot project released to. And this One Health concept is very important because government is constantly working in this direction. So you should have a better picture of the One Health India concept. Okay, I hope everything is clear. Now let's move to our next question. Under dash, center release rupees 2,94,718 crore to FCI states as FCI and states as food subsidy in financial year 2021-2022. Your option are PM, GKAY, NFSA, Manrega, both ANC or ABC. And see, Manrega can't be your answer. Why? Because this particular scheme is related to employment, providing the employment, and we are talking about food subsidy here. So food is not related to. Now these two options, that is your Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, so it is related to food. The next is your National Food Security Act, so again food. Okay, so from these two your answer will be this. Both of them are correct. Okay, now we'll discuss this particular current affair. So the money that was allocated of 2,94,718, it will be provided to whom? First of all FCI, the other the state department that are related to the food subsidy. Okay, now why this money is allocated? See what happened in India, that under some schemes, these schemes are your Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana and National Food Security Act. Under these scheme, government provide food grains to the people at very low cost or at no cost. So first of all, for that, to provide the wheat, government has a public distribution system and they will procure the wheat or any food grain from farmers at MSP, that is minimum support price. Remember, we have studied in the current affair of May that government lowered the wheat procurement estimate to 19 million, and that procurement was for these particular schemes, okay, for public distribution system. So what government will do? Government will provide the money to FCI and state government, and they will buy the product from the farmers for the distribution. So I hope everything is clear to you. Now let's talk about this particular scheme, that is Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. See, the date of this scheme was extended to September 2022. So government said that alone for that they need additional 244 lakh tons of food grain, and this food grain will be brought by 80,851 crore that was allocated under this. And you have to remember that this whole money won't be given in one phase. This will be divided in different phases that extend from 2020 to 2022. Okay, so I hope everything is clear to you from there. Do remember again, the agency responsible for the food subsidy, and since your schemes are very important for your NABARD, you should remember the name and the money allocated under these schemes. Okay, also remember the sunset date for PMGK. Okay, now let's cover our next question. As per the provisional figure released by DGCIS, what was the value of the export in billion US dollars, you have to tell, for the agricultural product in year 2021-2022? Was it 37.8 billion US dollars? Was it 1.11 billion dollars? Was it 42 billion US dollars? Was it 25.35 billion US dollar? Or was it 50.21 billion dollars? And you'll have to remember the value here. See here, no shortcuts are here, and this particular news is very important. Okay, so your correct answer will be 50.21. So now we'll cover this particular current affair. As I have told, this is very important. So what happened? It was reported that the agricultural product export for year 2021-2022 reached a new mark and crossed the 50 billion mark. Okay, now this report was released by DGCIS, that is your Director General of Commercial Intelligence and Statistics. Now they said that for crop year 2021 we reached 50.21 billion. Now talking about this DGCIS and this particular report, see, whenever we are exporting an agency, there are in India there are some board and commodity board and some export boards that are responsible for that particular export and increase. So now we'll discuss that. We all know about APIDA. So APIDA reported that the export from APIDA was 25.6, and APIDA is our Agricultural and Processed Food Product Export Development Authority. Okay. So they said that 25.6 billion, that is, see, more than 50%. See, it's higher than 50% of export. Total 50.21 was there, and alone from APIDA, export of 25.6 billion dollar was done. The other board is MPIDA. See, MPIDA is for your Marine Product Export Development Authority, and they reported that 7.71 billion dollars of marine products were exported. The marine product is your frozen fish or fish related product that come from sea, that involves shrimp too, that involve octopus and others too. Okay, so that was also a record. Now the other board is our Spice Board. Spice Board said that the $4 billion of export was done. Okay, now this record was maintained from the last year. Next, talking about the Coffee Board, they reported a new high too of $1 billion. Okay, so do remember the name of the board, all the boards, do remember the export they have done and the figures released by whom. Since this report is very important for today's current affair, we'll particularly cover the commodities that are important and the data given on those commodities. Okay, so in our next question we'll talk about rice and then we'll talk about wheat. So for our next question, as per DGCIS, as we talk, export of non-basmati rice for financial year 2021-2022 reached how much? You have the value was in US billion dollars. So was it $2 billion? Was it $4.28 billion? Was it $6.11 billion or 2.98 or 6.91? And yes, your correct answer will be C, that is $6.11 billion. Okay, now let's talk about the export of the non-basmati rice. Basmati rice are even not included in the data. Okay, so talking about the non-basmati rice, in India it was first time that India has exported the rice to 150 countries and reached a new growth of $6,115 billion. Okay, that much worth of rice was, non-basmati rice was exported. The basmati's data is different. Okay, as you can see, the major exporter was Benin, and you can see all the major exporter here. But it was first time in India that some countries that have never made a order from India, first time ordered the non-basmati rice from India. So, they involve like Brazil too. Okay, now the states that were benefited by this export. So these states were West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, and you can read the rest. Okay. So I hope everything is clear to you from here. Do remember the non-basmati rice, the export value for non-basmati rice, how much country it was exported to. Even it was reported that India has captured the half of the market of the rice. Okay. So do remember who was our major exporter, importer. How much worth of money? See, you can see the change here. In 2019, it was 2015. In 2020, 2021, it was 4,811. And for 2021-2022, it was 6,115. Okay. So now let's cover our next current affair that is related to wheat. But before that, according to DGCIS, the highest export of wheat of $2.12 billion US was noted. So you have to tell the DGCIS comes under which ministry. That's why I didn't explain it in the third current affair. So you might be thinking that if we are talking about DGCIS, from our option that are Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Ministry of Finance, the answer might be either stats or agriculture. Because see, they are talking about agriculture commodity, so answer can be this, and they are giving stats, the answer can be statistics too. But both these options are wrong. Why? See, when we are talking about DGCIS, it's particularly showing the data related to trading. Okay, export. So again, as we talked in the, and they give data about APIDA, they give data about AMPIDA, they give data about various commodity board like spice board, rubber board, coffee board. So these all these comes under the same ministry as DGCIS, and that is our Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Another method to guess it is, see, full form of DGSI is Director General of Commercial Intelligence and Statistics. So we are talking commercial intelligence and commercial stats. So that's why DGCIS will be Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Okay, do remember it. Now let's discuss the export of the wheat now. Okay, so wheat export also jumped a new high of 2.12 billion. In India, in year 2021-2022, many of the crops and many of the food grain reached a record high of export. Okay, now you can see the major importer of our wheat. First one is Bangladesh, then Nepal, then UAE, and you can see the rest. And again, in the case of wheat too, some country made the first consignment order from India. Okay. So some state that will get benefited from this export. These were Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, and you can read the rest from here. Okay, so that was about our wheat. Now let's talk about other commodity that see record height in the export. So first of all, let's revise wheat. That was 9.65 billion. Then wheat, that is 2. And this wheat is 9.65 because it involves both non-basmati and basmati. Okay, that's why the data is different, don't get confused. So now let's talk about wheat. Wheat is 2.12 billion. Now sugar also see a major hike in the export, and it was exported to the value of 4.6 billion US dollars. Okay, then other cereal beside rice and wheat, other cereal also see a record height of 1.02 billion US dollars. So everything is clear to you from now. This news is very important. The data released by DGCIS is very important. So do remember it, do revise it, and you have to remember this all, because NABARD asks question from this particular commodities. See, from your NABARD point of view, you have to see two things. This particular news involved both agricultural product and the export value. So that's why it becomes 2 times important for your exam. Okay. So that was all for the class. I hope you'll find this session useful. So if you have any query, you can write to us at hello@edutap.co.in, and you can also check our website. Thank you.